A lot of people know that drinking pop is unhealthy, but some will still go out and drink it anyways. And this could be because they actually don't understand fully the negative health effects of drinking pop. They can read the ingredients and everything that are listed, but they actually, some people may not have done the research to actually see the negative health effects of each ingredient. So what we're going to look at today is we're going to go through and look at the ingredients in 3 different drinks: Coca-Cola Zero, Powerade Zero, and also Maid Fruit Punch. And we're gonna go through the ingredients and look at some of the negative health effects of drinking these ingredients. So let's get into it. Alright, so let's look at Coca-Cola Zero first. The first ingredient we're going to be looking at is caramel color. It says it's a brown food coloring or flavoring that may be processed with ammonia and sulfur to intensify color. Bad health effects. It contains ammonium compounds, which affects the digestive system and stomach, the liver, and causes hyperactivity. Caramel color produced with ammonia has been associated with blood toxicity and reduces white cells and lymphocyte counts. You know, a lot of these words in here I haven't seen before, so I'm going to be mispronouncing probably a lot of stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. But you can obviously see that this caramel color, you know, that's what gives it the color that you can see, you know, in Coca-Cola. It's not good for you. It gives you all types of problems. So let's look at the next ingredient: phosphoric acid, a colorless, odorless chemical made from phosphate rock, not a food. Bad health effects: may lead to calcium loss in bones and tooth erosion. Eye, skin, throat, nose, and respiratory irritant. Increases the chance of getting osteoporosis and is linked to kidney damage and kidney stones. So you don't want to be drinking that. Why do they even have that in the drink? I know it's acid and the drink's acidic and all that, but still, you could probably come up with something else that's more healthy. But they have that in the drink, and it causes a lot of problems. You know, this is why you don't want to drink, or this is the ingredient that causes, you know, you can see tooth erosion. And probably is that ingredient that causes that burning taste you get because of all that acidity. Aspartame. Aspartame is 200 times sweeter than sugar, so very little is used to sweeten the soft drink. It does enhance the taste of the drink, but it also causes numerous adverse side effects. Common complaints include migraine, memory loss, emotional disorders, blurred vision, ringing in the ears, heart palpitations, and shortness of breath. So various side effects, or various, you know, things that can happen to you by drinking this. And aspartame is actually in a lot of drinks because it's a sweetener. So, you know, it gives you all types of problems. Potassium benzoate. It says it has low acute toxicity upon oral and dermal exposure. The Food Commission, which campaigns for safer, healthier food in the UK, describes potassium benzoate as mildly irritant to the skin, eyes, and mucous membranes. So, you know, it's mildly bad for you, basically is what it's saying. You know, it can cause problems to the skin, eyes, and, you know, other stuff. Natural flavors. This is one thing that people will they'll read and be like, okay, it has natural flavors in it, so that's probably good for you. But the question is it good for you? Let's read. It says natural flavors anything but natural. When you hear natural, you automatically think it's natural, so it must be good for me. So that's actually, it says it's far from the truth. Natural flavor is a substance that has been derived directly from a natural item And, people look at that and be like, okay, since it comes from something natural, then it, it has to be good. But you actually have to understand that pretty much everything that's in the world today, obviously came from the earth. Okay, so you can kind of call that natural and all that. But the problem is they'll mix and, take different things from it. And they'll just mix different chemicals together. And then by the time they're done with whatever they're making, it won't be good for you. Okay? But, it comes from the earth, but, it's not good necessarily. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you. It says, okay, natural flavor is a substance that has been derived from a natural item. It can be sourced from vegetables, fruits, meats, spices, and dairy products. So far, so good, right? Here's the thing. The substance is extracted and chemically altered to taste like it would have before it was modified. Many times the flavor that was extracted has nothing to do with the food it was used in. One example would be castoreum. It is the natural flavor used in things like raspberry and vanilla ice cream, and it is derived from the anal glands of a beaver. So if you see vanillin on the label, you're eating beaver anal secretions. Other hidden things like MSG can be found in natural flavor. So that's not good. We should not be eating that. That should not even be in the food. I don't even know why that's in there. Why is that in there? That's nasty. So that's something you don't want to be eating. Natural flavors, it's like there's a wide variety of things that could actually be. You don't necessarily know what that is. It says that other things like MSG can be found in it. MSG is not good for you. That's another thing that's not good for you. All right, let's look at the next ingredient. Acesulfame potassium. Acesulfame K, Ace K is 100 to 200 times sweeter than sugar with a slight bitter aftertaste. So it's kind of like aspartame, Initial tests have indicated that this substance may be carcinogenic. Ace K apparently produced lung tumors, breast tumors, rare types of tumors of other organs, such as the thymus gland. Several forms of leukemia and chronic respiratory disease in several rodent studies, even when less than maximum doses were given. So basically, even though, the maximum doses weren't given, it caused a lot of problems. So this is something that you don't want to be drinking at all. But it's in the Coca-Cola Zero. It can cause all types of tumors and different things that you don't want. Let's look at the next ingredient, caffeine. Caffeine is a bitter, white, crystalline xanthine alkaloid that is a psychoactive stimulant drug. Bad health effects. Psychoactive and addictive. If you consume an excess amount of caffeine, it may cause headaches or migraines, heart disease, and even depression. It increases the chance of birth defects and nearly doubles the risk of miscarriage for women. Caffeine is safe if eaten in small amounts. So it says it's safe if eaten in small amounts, but, a lot of people, who drink pop a lot, you really don't want to be doing that because, it has caffeine and stuff like that in it. Some pops don't, but, caffeine is actually it's in coffee and stuff like that. Some people may drink that every day, but it can give you some problems. It can talks about birth defects, and it can give you headaches, depression, heart disease, and all types of stuff that you don't want. So we looked at the Coca-Cola Zero. Now let's go to the sports drink, Powerade. And Gatorade is probably similar to this too. So natural flavors, we already talked about that. Artificial flavors, it says artificial flavorings are commonly used in making soft drinks to give each flavor its distinctive taste. These have adverse effect on hyperactive children and must be eliminated from their diet. Tartrazine is an orange-yellowish drink coloring that is banned in Norway and Finland. It can cause allergic reactions like skin rashes, swelling, excess mucus, and bloodshot eyes. Brilliant Blue is another cancer-causing agent that is now banned in many developed countries. It is still being used in the U.S. to produce soft drinks. This chemical can cause chromosomal damage and allergic reactions. So, basically, artificial flavors. When people see natural flavors, they'll be like, oh, that's good. Not artificial flavors, oh, that's not good. But they're both bad, okay? Artificial flavors, that can cause hyperness in children. That's why some parents won't let their kids drink certain drinks, because it has ingredients like this in it. A lot of these have various causes or bad health effects. Like skin rashes, swelling, excess mucus, and bloodshot eyes. So that's something you don't want to be drinking. Sucralose. Sucralose tastes like sugar and is an alternative to sugar. Research showed that sucralose caused shrunken thymus glands, up to 40% shrinkage, and enlarged liver and kidneys. From its chemical structure, that years or decades of use may contribute to serious chronic immunological or neurological disorders. So it can give you brain problems. It can give you problems in your immune system. So something that you don't want to be drinking. And why don't they use sugar? Natural sugar in it. That's something you should be asking. But this is giving you all types of problems. But let's go to the next ingredient. It says Ace K. We already looked at that. Red 40 and Green 3. Red 40 and Green 3 have been linked to an increased risk of bladder cancer. Causes significant increases in bladder and testes tumors in male rats. This issue is so serious that the state of Maryland is considering a ban on the stuff. Actually, it has been banned in Europe. And that's a common thing you'll see in a lot of these ingredients. Other countries will ban the ingredients that America will allow. So let's keep reading. It says experts believe that food dyes previously recognized as safe are suspected of contributing to attention deficit disorder. Through Europe, several countries have banned artificial dyes and require foods using any unnatural colors. Labels are required to state that consuming foods containing artificial colors might be linked to behavioral issues in children. Red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1, blue 2, green 3, orange B, and red 3 are among the food colors also associated with hyperactivity. So these colors that are added, for coloring in drinks, they're actually the ingredients that cause a lot of hyperactivity issues with kids. Some parents, they'll take their kids off of drinks because of these ingredients, because they're getting too hyper while they drink that. Let's go to the next ingredient. Calcium disodium EDTA. It says calcium disodium EDTA is an amino polycarboxylic acid in a colorless water soluble solid. EDTA has been found to be both cytotoxic and weakly genotoxic in laboratory animals. Oral exposures have been noted to cause reproductive and developmental effects. The same study by Lanigan also found that both dermal exposure to EDTA and most cosmetic formulations and inhalation exposure to EDTA in aerosolized cosmetic formulations would produce exposure levels below those seen to be toxic in oral dosing studies. So basically, it's toxic. It's been found toxic in laboratory animals, and it can cause reproductive and developmental problems. So why would they put that in there? If it's not good for you, it shouldn't be in there. And this is why a lot of other countries, they put a ban on these ingredients. So the last drink we're going to look at is Maid. And the first ingredient is high fructose corn syrup. That's actually in a lot of drinks and different foods and stuff like that. Let's look at the hazards. It says an artificial corn sweetener representing more than 50% of calories in the average supermarket. So basically it's everywhere. Corn starch is processed to corn syrup and then treated with enzymes to convert glucose into fructose. This is basically added sugar or empty calories. It increases the risk of colon cancer, diabetes, kidney stones, weight gain, raises your bad cholesterol, LDL levels, tooth decay, tissue damage, and may cause tumors. So it gives you all types of problems. That's one ingredient that you don't want to be drinking. Citric acid. Citric acid is used as a preservative as well as an acidic or sour taste in foods. It can actually be harmful for those that have a history of electrolyte/mineral imbalances. And it's ironic that, it talks about when things on this Powerade advanced electrolyte system and all that. But actually drinking it can be harmful if you have an electrolyte/mineral imbalance. It says MSG can be found hidden in citric acid. And there it is again. MSG is something that you don't want to drink. It says known side effects of MSG are headache, flushing, sweating, facial pressure or tightness, numbness or burning in the face, neck, or other areas, rapid fluttering heartbeats, heart palpitations, chest pain, and nausea. So yeah, MSG, not good for your body. Sugar. Too much sugar isn't good for anyone, especially when it's stripped of all its minerals, which is true of most sugar. So it goes for the same thing, like salt. Salt isn't good when all the stuff that was, salt isn't good when it's not in its natural form. That pretty much goes for anything. And a lot of times these ingredients, they come from natural things, but they basically modify them and they become bad for you. Frequently, companies are using genetically modified sugar beets to make sugar found in drinks. It can overload your liver, decay teeth, cause insulin resistance, which can lead to type 2 diabetes. Sugar is also highly addictive among other things. So some kids may wonder why they're getting diabetes early and stuff like that, or why they're getting diabetes at a young age. A lot of this could be due to what you drink. We already looked at natural flavors. It says, let's look at the next ingredient. Glyceryl ester of rosin. Glyceryl ester of rosin is an emulsifier and can be used as an alternative to brominated vegetable oil and citrus-flavored drinks. It gives a more authentic flavor to fruit-flavored, water-based drinks and has been found in rare cases to cause allergic reactions. So it can cause allergic reactions and stuff like that. It's not natural. Potassium sorbate. Although some research implies it has a long-term safety record, in vitro studies have shown that it has both genotoxic and mutagenic to human blood cells. Potassium sorbate is found to be toxic to human DNA. in peripheral blood lymphocytes, and hence found that it negatively affects immunity. It is often used with ascorbic acid and iron salts as they increase its effectiveness, but this tends to form mutagenic compounds that damage DNA molecules. Regardless, 3 studies have not found it to have any carcinogenic effects in rats. Basically, it says it's genotoxic and mutagenic to human blood cells, so it's not, and it's not good. It can be toxic to human DNA, and it can negatively affect immunity. So it can mess with your immune system. Let's look at the next ingredient. Sodium benzoate. Sodium benzoate, which is known as benzoic acid, is present in most soft drinks. This chemical is known to cause asthma, rashes, and hyperactivity. So there it is, asthma, hyperactivity. So why would they have that in the drink if it can cause this? I don't know, but it's something that you definitely don't want to be drinking. Sodium hexametaphosphate. Prolonged use of phosphate salts may upset the balance of phosphates and other chemicals in the body. Please refer to suggested dosage for safe quantity. High blood phosphate level may lead to several side effects. Development of renal disease, damages blood vessels, induces aging process. So it can give you, different types of problems. Calcium disodium EDTA is an amino polycarboxylic acid in a colorless water soluble solid. EDTA has been found to be both cytotoxic and weakly genotoxic in laboratory animals. Oral exposures have been noted to cause reproductive and developmental effects. And this is found in a drink. You drink it, so it's coming in your mouth. So, it can cause reproductive and developmental effects. The same study by Lanigan also found that both dermal exposure to EDTA in most cosmetic formulations and inhalation exposure to EDTA in aerosolized cosmetic formulations will produce exposure levels below those seen to be toxic in oral dosing studies. So basically, it's toxic. Don't drink it. And I already read calcium disodium EDTA, and we already looked at red 40 and green 3. So you can see that these drinks have some of the same ingredients, and a lot of the ingredients that are in there, I didn't go through all the ingredients, but I went through some of the bad ones, and you can see that a lot of these ingredients are toxic. You don't want to be drinking them, because all it'll do is cause health effects, and you keep drinking them over the years. It'll basically take years off your life, because what happens is you'll drink them, then you'll get different types of problems which can lead to diseases and you having to take pills, and then those pills can cause other problems, and basically you'll be losing money in the long run. You'll have to pay all types of money to the doctors to give you pills and stuff like that, and then you'll just be cutting years off your life. So it's best not to drink these drinks, because they'll literally kill you slowly.